Cobb and Banger coming across with a huge save. That might have been St. Clair's best chance of the night so far in overtime.
Shuts every one of them down. That's a full team kill.
He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Against Kinger now in a 1 versus 2. Once again, he finds one. He finds the second. He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
Hello, Saints Nation, and welcome back to another broadcast. My name, Jackson the Prive Brown, joined alongside John Billbangs Wadima here once again. We got your St. Clair Saints versus West Virginia University in the NECC of Rocket League here today. It's going to be a good matchup. How are you feeling about this one, John?
Well, I mean, both teams, it should be pretty even. It'll be a mix of people from the technical green and gold rosters, but it'll be Kamal, Nitrix, and Fusion. We haven't really seen a lot of a couple of these players throughout the season so far, so it should be really interesting to see how they play together, what their chemistry looks like, and see if they can succeed against West Virginia here tonight.
Yeah, one big good old roster here of all these Saints Rocket League players. It is going to be your starting lineup of, like you were saying, Fusion, Kamal, and Nitrix, a roster that we haven't really seen together a whole lot. We've seen Nitrix come through in some of these CRL qualifiers for the team to actually make it into CRL. Nitrix is actually going to be on the roster for the CRL team as well, so it's interesting to see him down here. Fusion was just playing in NACE with, I believe it was Comp and Spoods as of last night, so it's nice to see them all come through. We've seen bits and pieces of each member throughout this season, but now to see them all under the same roster that we don't see too often is going to be very nice here at NECC. We have your 2-2 St. Clair Saints up against 3-1 West Virginia University. West Virginia with an upper hand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the extra win feels good, but it's pretty early on in the season, 3-1, 2-2. If they do win this game, they'll be at an even scoreline. So I think realistically, you look down this list, the only two teams that are actually in CRL are going to be St. Clair as well as Northwood Blue, sitting at 4-0 right now. So St. Clair at 2-2, not quite sure who they've played so far in the season, but it should be interesting to see if West Virginia sitting at 3-1 is actually going to be the better team. I think St. Clair right now, looking at how good they've been in the other leagues, in the NECC, I think they definitely can look forward to some good matchups, and I think it should be very competitive for them.
Yes, I do completely agree with you here, John. I believe actually St. Clair has already played Northwood, so it's good to get one of those matches. I think it was either Northwood or it was New Haven. They've played one of the 4-0 teams, so it is nice to get that match just out of the way, under your belt, even if it was a loss. And now you know that you have a little bit more of the lower side of the division to work with going forward in the remaining of the season. So as of March 8th, 8 p.m., those are your current standings. St. Clair not doing too bad, currently sitting around the middle of the pack, but a win tonight would really help shoot them up in those standings.
Yeah, it would help them out a lot, and I think the fact that you've already played a 4-0 team means that you don't have to worry about any of those at top tier team. Obviously it means you most likely will have to play one of the other 4-0 teams, which is going to be a challenge, but realistically I think the fact that West Virginia, the only team sitting at 3-1 right now, is kind of that other big challenge that you're thinking of starting off the season. And I think for me, looking at this lineup, these starting three, it's going to be interesting to see how the chemistry works between them, because they weren't together last semester. Fusion was up on the gold roster, and Kamal, Nitrix, and it was Ramen that was playing together for green most of the time. So it should be interesting to see how these three meld together, and how the offense, defense, what their positioning looks like, how their rotations go, and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how they work together as a team.
Yes, I really like NECC because it does give us a chance to see a lot of the players we might not see every day on the Saints Gaming channel, whether that be in NACE or in CRL. So we get to see a lot of new talent, and we're trying to emphasize that as best we can, because we don't really know what we're expecting here tonight. West Virginia is, I wouldn't say they're a wild card. We know they're a really solid team, but we know they're definitely beatable. But we definitely know a few minor mistakes, and they can turn the tables on us and take us down. So we'll see what happens with that being said going forwards. But any score predictions here, John?
I mean, obviously, like you said, West Virginia we don't know too much about, but I think this roster has a lot of potential. I think we've seen really good moments out of Kamal, and we've seen good moments out of all of them, but I think really Kamal has been, the star for me last semester for the green roster. I think he had so many moments where he was the one who stepped up individually, made these crazy, insane plays, and it really was, it reminds me of Comp for the gold roster, right, where you see Comp there sometimes where he just goes for these insane, crazy aerial moves and is able to beat out 2 or 3 people on the opposing team, and I want to see Kamal keep doing that. For me, that's my player to watch. I think he might be the difference in this series, and that's why I'm going to give it to St. Clair 3-2. I think it'll be a close one, though.
Yeah, I am going to agree with you. I think we are going to be seeing a Game 5 as well, but I'm going to have West Virginia taking this one in 3-2 fashion over the Saints. I think West Virginia just a little bit more sound roster with a little bit more chemistry between these three players, consistently playing between each other, going with all of their 5 games in NECC, and whether they're playing in NACE and a CRL, whether it not be. But actually, CRL, one thing that's pretty interesting about that, we do see the CCA Open, which is going to be your St. Clair Saints roster, actually have qualified through that. So a little bit more about these players. Now that they know they've qualified and have a potential to, get a wild card spot or get one of those spots, play-in spots to go against some of these CRL teams or to go up in this higher division of Open. It's nice to see that they actually did qualify throughout these tournaments, and we will see more of these players going forwards with this semester.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And CCA qualifying, very interesting how it works. But basically, in the end of it, if you beat out a lot of these other teams that have qualified through these weekends, you do have a shot at possibly taking a spot in the CRL playoff bracket. It's a really, really long process to get there, but I mean, the fact that you're able to get to that point means that you want to keep driving to improve, right? You want to be able to work silently with your teammates. You want to be able to, work with those around you, listen to your coach, and get it together. Because if you have a shot at actually making the CRL playoffs, that is absolutely massive. And you see how much success St. Clair Gold has had in the CRL. If we can get 2 teams into the CRL playoff bracket, that would be amazing.
I believe the roster we are seeing here tonight is the same roster that qualified for CCA. It was the Fusion Kamal Nitrix, not the Kamal Nitrix Ramen. I believe it was Fusion here with the guys as well, because Nitrix can't compete in CCA Open. Wait, actually, sorry. It was Fusion, Fusion Kamal and Fusion Kamal and Ramen. Yeah, it must have been Ramen, because you can't have Nitrix coming in and competing in the CCA Open because he's already on a CRL roster. So it's interesting to see how things work. So now Nitrix coming back down here. It's interesting also to see how every league has almost a different starting 3. And I think it's really good to give a lot of variety of play to these players.
I say it's interesting compared to other esports titles, right? Where look at across our other varsity titles like League, we have Valorant, you have these bigger games with more players. You don't really have an option to have another team in a lot of these leagues, right? But because Rocket League, you're in 3 different leagues, and the fact that they allow you to have substitute players across the board, it means that you can kind of plug and play, people see who works well together, and I think that's really optimal for building really good multiple rosters and being able to put your best foot forward talent wise and chemistry wise, because the fact that you can play with different people, you can add people to a team, you can take them out, bring them onto another one, means that you can test out the waters and see who works well with who, and who will give you the optimal 2 rosters.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one, John. But we are going to be heading into the game here in just a few moments as both these teams are readying up on the back end. But in the meantime, we do have a little bit to talk about. So let's talk about this TikTok giveaway we do have for you all. It's going to be announced. It was announced on our social media, but now you guys can get a little bit of a taste of it here now on the stream. It is going to be the TikTok giveaway. Winner will be drawn on March 31st. All you guys got to do is follow our Twitter and our TikTok, tag one friend in the reply, and like and retweet this post. If you go on our Twitter, I believe it is our pinned tweet right now. If not, it is shortly down on our timeline. But yes, follow our Twitter and TikTok, tag a friend in the tweet, and like and retweet the post, and you'll be entered for your chance to win a $50 Steam gift card drawn at the end of the month.
I like these giveaways we're doing now. Just nice to have that thing that we're growing, and whether we have a TikTok or increasing our social media output. I really like all the stuff we're doing, upgrading here in the winter semester. And I mean, with the arena coming up soon too as well, I think it's a good time to be a St. Clair fan right now, because everything around here is getting upgraded big time.
Hey, there's a reason that I'm graduating and coming back. There's a reason that I'm excited to come back here, work in the arena, get to work with a lot more nice production equipment, and to see a lot of these players come in and play in a little bit more of a new environment. With that being the new arena, main stage up there with some nice monitors, nice chairs, looking all nice and aesthetically appealing.
It's gonna be nice and fancy.
Yeah, it's good. It is really a great time to be a Saints fan, especially with all this Rocket League talent we have for these teams. I love to see it. Just as you were talking before, we get to see all this variety. It really resembles to me almost like ice hockey, right? Because you have this line 1, line 2, line 3, be like, okay, but then in this league, this is our line 1, line 2, line 3, or whatnot. So it is really awesome to see. Just a couple minutes away from game time here before we actually are able to get things started. So stay with us. So we are going to see a substitution actually for St. Clair after just getting word. We are no longer going to see Fusion in the starting lineup here tonight. We are going to see Vokes come in. I have never seen Vokes play yet. Fun fact, he is the emergency substitute. Well, what's emergency substitute? He is one of the more backline players for St. Clair who don't see every day. And not even as often as Fusion. So to see Vokes come through today is going to be awesome. But your starting lineup for the side of WVU is going to be Knight, is going to be Falls, is going to be Rotz. A shot on net early and a backboard goal for Falls will open us off. West Virginia 1-0 lead just 7 seconds into this game.
Starting off this one hot, West Virginia already finding that one, and just a good play there, able to win out the 50-50, ended up going towards St. Clair's net, and they were ready for that bounce off the backboard. Now just 7 seconds in West Virginia already picking up the lead, and you did say they were going to have an advantage because they were 3-1, and you know the fact that Vokes is coming in, a very, very interesting substitute here. The fact that you have this third player, we didn't see him, I don't remember seeing him last semester, I don't think either, so it's definitely something new. Shot going to come through here off the crossbar, just going to go out here. Knight going to go for the clear. Vokes going to be here for the rebound and try and get it towards the middle, but already St. Clair trying to bounce back, trying to find an answer here in number 1.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the starting lineup change, this close to game time. But it is going to be St. Clair trying to still come through with the win, down a goal, but looking to answer back. They had a nice opportunity not long ago, just a little bit missed on that one, and it's now going to be Vokes for a shot. It's going to be a little bit wide, though, and I'm very excited to see how Vokes has been playing, right? I couldn't agree with you. We haven't really seen him last semester or this semester as of quite yet, at least on the channel. So to see him come through, I'm very interested to see his play style, how he's going to fit with the team, but I'm a little bit concerned because changing the starting lineup this close to game time could really mess with the chemistry going forwards.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. To see that a lot of West Virginia shots coming through here, St. Clair playing a little bit more reserved on that back line. And I mean, typically last semester, we saw them being very, very aggressive. Specifically, Kamal working on that forward pressure. A lot of times, he was up really, really far, and he'd let Nitrix and Ramen kind of sit back and play a little more of the defensive role. Nitrix would push up with him. Those two would work well on the offense. You had Ramen kind of playing that third man deep back, so it should be interesting to see if they continue with that one with putting Vokes on the back. But it looks like actually Nitrix playing the further back man is playing that kind of goalie defense position while Vokes moves forward. So should make the game interesting for us to watch.
Yeah, Rotz will find a shot on the net, will not go, though. It's now going to be St. Clair on the offense. Falls here to make the defensive stop. It's going to work out for him. Now dribbling this one over towards midfield at 50-50, but it's going to be sent over to the corner of St. Clair's zone, and now Knight is going for the contest on the play. Kamal will actually get a nice little clear, and this is actually going to go right on target. Falls is going to be there to interfere and, juggle this one around ever so slightly, but St. Clair is still applying this pressure, and they're really looking for a goal right here, right now.
Yeah, it has definitely slowed down a little bit, though. Both teams settling in a bit, testing the waters, seeing how they're going to go. St. Clair down a goal right now, but you're still 2.5 minutes left in this game. You still have a lot of time to figure it out, so it doesn't look like they're too panicked now. Just kind of calm down, trying to figure out their positions, and like you said, having a sub this close to game time means that you have to try and figure that out throughout the series. So it is a best of 5. You do have a couple changes. Shot going to come through here. Kamal going to find the top shelf. Beautiful touch there in front of the goal, and that is going to be St. Clair tying us up at 1 apiece. 3 minutes into this game.
Yeah, St. Clair doing a great job finding the back of the net on that one here now against WVU with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock. Still lots of time for the scoreline to be changing, but that's exactly what St. Clair needed. Now tying this one up. It's going to be right back into St. Clair's zone, though not looking too good as Knight will be able to knock it down. That's a WVU goal right after St. Clair was able to find theirs. So regaining the advantage is going to put some pressure on the Saints.
Yeah, and you see there, just some miscommunication. Kamal going up for the ball, trying to clear it out. Wasn't able to get a good touch there, and it meant ball's dropping in front of your net. There's no goalies there. It's pretty much a given goal. There's nothing you can do about that one. And Vokes, he went for that ball on the bounce, but unfortunately Kamal just went for the touch instead. And you see those little bits of miscommunication here, not, coming through for St. Clair. You don't have that cohesiveness that you might have had with Fusion in the roster. So I definitely think looking forward, as this series goes on, I think they'll definitely look more comfortable. But you got to figure that one out because, you only have, 5 games in this series to figure it out. So definitely St. Clair got to look for better communication here in the second half of this game.
Yeah, Nitrix doing a good job winning that 50-50 play. Not able to follow it up with a tap, though. It's going to be Knight now with some big action. It's going to be sent all to Kamal. Aggressive shot, able to make the save, but Knight on the rebound is going to be stopped as well. So some good defense coming through for St. Clair. Is another save for Nitrix. You got to get this ball out of your zone, though. You cannot allow this barrage of shots to continue to lay onto your net. It is going to be Vokes trying to make that play happen. Rot's going to miss out on the ball. It's going to be now Nitrix dribbling into the offensive zone.
St. Clair trying to push this one back, but looks like West Virginia has them on the run right now. Just keep forcing it into their zone, and St. Clair just trying to get it anywhere away from their net, but it means it keeps going in West Virginia's possession. And when you're down a goal, you have to be able to pick up that ball in your own zone and start to make a play with it, start carrying it out yourself. And St. Clair free on the right side here. Kamal looking for this one. Is going to get the aerial touch, but is going to be knocked out of the way. Now with under a minute remaining, St. Clair down a goal. They have to find an answer here soon.
I think they need to get a little bit more aggressive on this offensive play. It's typically like only one player really up there trying to make this offense work, but you need somebody else to, play for these rebounds, play for the passing plays, because right now St. Clair cannot be 1-on-3ing this offense. They're playing it very safe and conservative, but they're going to have to take a little bit more risks if they do want to come away with this win here today. It's going to be Kamal in the corner with the ball, but not a lot working out well for him. Now it's going to be Vokes deked out from Knight. Knight looking to drop this one onto the goal, and that is going to be knocked away for Rots. A 3-1 lead. WVU might have just sealed this one up with only 17 seconds left on the clock, and St. Clair will now be trailing by 2.
You see the problem there. Nitrix and Kamal sitting on the goal line. One of them needed to go for that ball earlier, go for a quick challenge for both of them. Ended up challenging at the same time, and it meant that when the ball came out for the rebound, it was just a West Virginia player sitting there waiting for it. And now 3-1 most likely will be the end of the game here. And St. Clair, just not the typical aggressiveness we see from them here in game number 1. Definitely interesting. And I think they really need to step up here in the offensive side. They looked pretty good there about halfway through the game. But, the last minute and a half or so, they really just fell off. And all credit to West Virginia. I think they played a really good offensive game there. Put a lot of pressure on in the St. Clair half, but realistically, I think a couple of big mistakes there for St. Clair led to those big West Virginia goals. And looking at game number 2, you got to shore up that communication, try and work that one out, try and figure out your offense and get some good pushes going. Because when they were in the offensive zone, they looked really, really good.
Yeah, I was really intrigued to see who would be playing the defense on this roster, but I'm more intrigued now to see who's going to be playing the offense, because St. Clair is a roster that typically in Rocket League we see very aggressive, very offense, very in-your-face play style, firing away a lot of shots, but this starting three today is looking like they're playing this one a little bit more conservative. Like they want to make very minimal mistakes on the defensive side, on the offensive side as well, but it really is making it difficult on them to use these opportunities given on the offense. They need to be having more players around there and more, of these pieces in place to actually find the back of the net here on these offense. So we'll see what happens, but it does look like we might be having a lobby reset here in just a moment as everybody's going to be backing out of this one. So we are going to be back into the cameras for just a moment before we are able to get underway with this game. But West Virginia, game number 1, it's going to be St. Clair needing to answer back. They cannot afford to go down 2-0 in the series.
I think Nitrix playing a lot more of that, really goalie play style, right? And I was going to say, typically we do see Ramen kind of playing that further back role when he's playing, but it is going to be Vokes coming in. So it's interesting to see they're kind of putting Vokes on that midfield position. They're letting Kamal do his thing, and the Nitrix, instead of playing that midfield, he is playing back towards that goalie. So it's interesting to see, because typically he's the one who goes for those aggressive passes in the midfield, and that really makes a difference for St. Clair, because he sets up Kamal for a lot of these plays that he's able to make. But with him being back in the goalie, it's up to Vokes to try and make those plays to Kamal. And we saw the lone goal St. Clair did score. Kamal with a really good pass from Vokes able to put that one in, and now St. Clair, game number 2, has to try and find an answer here, not go down 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, it is going to be WVU St. Clair getting into things now in game 2. 10 seconds into things, and it's going to be Nitrix already in the offense. A shot and a goal! Answering back over to WVU after finding game 1. It is going to be St. Clair with a kickoff goal just 12 seconds into this one. Now with a 1-0 advantage over West Virginia.
St. Clair able to find an early goal here in game number 2. And I mean, it's a really good answer from game number 1, because you saw 7 seconds into game number 1, to 50-51 by West Virginia led to a goal for them. And this time, Nitrix going to win that 50-50. and it's going to go towards St. Clair. And now with an early lead for them, I think that defensive style might be, you know, something they think about more carefully now, because you have this lead, and it really wasn't a very high-scoring game there in game number 1. So I think you can try and hold on to this, preserve this lead as long as possible. Shot going to come through here, though. Kamal with a good save on the back end. Rebound, not going to be hit there. Kamal going to get it past 1. He can't go for an aerial here, but doesn't have any boost for it. So Knight able to knock it away for now. St. Clair holding on to this 1-goal lead, but WVU trying to find an answer.
I really do think St. Clair needs one more before they slow things down, and Nitrix for his second of the night will do just that for St. Clair. 50 seconds into this game here now, just running this one into the net, double tapping it right onto Falls' car, and it is going to allow St. Clair to take a multi-goal advantage in game 2 of this series. They're really looking to tie this one up here.
Man, Nitrix just being unleashed on the offense here, and it's paying dividends for St. Clair. They've already found 2 goals less than a minute into this game, and Nitrix finally allowed to get out of that goalie position, starting to push forward, and nice save there, actually. So on both ends of the field, Nitrix stepping up here, looking for a pass towards the middle. Never mind, it's going to be a shot, going to go off the backboard. Rebound, not going to be there for Vokes, not going to be able to get it in Falls. We'll be able to clear this one out, but St. Clair, some aggressiveness coming through, and it's doing really, really well for them. Now with a 2-goal lead in game number 2 that they can hold on to, I think this defensive style that they were working with game number 1 might be it. Dribble going to come through, Knight going to get over 1, but Kamal going to clear this one out. Still 2-goal lead for St. Clair.
Kamal going to be the savior on that play. I was a little bit concerned once it got flipped over Nitrix, but it's all's well. But right actually back into the St. Clair zone could be a problem. Nitrix is going to be dribbling that one. Will make it past Knight, and he's actually has nobody here to defend this one, but hits the post. Not able to find the shot he was looking for, and now Knight in possession of the ball will send this one away. St. Clair back onto defense. They still do have that 2-0 lead, though, which is something they really want to keep, but Rots will stop that. West Virginia, 1 goal on the board, and only 1 goal separating these two teams here now with lots of time left on the clock.
Rod's just there a half a second before Vokes will beat the goalie on that one, and will cut this lead in half. Now St. Clair still with a little bit of a lead here, but it's only 1 goal. It could disappear at a moment's notice, as we do know Rocket League very well known for those quick goals. And St. Clair definitely playing a lot better in game number 2. They've looked way better both on the offense and on the defensive side. West Virginia seems to be scrambling a little bit. Not going to come through, but Kamal be able to push that one away. And now, shot coming through for Falls. He's going to score that one there. Falls picking up the tying goal for West Virginia there. Good offensive pressure now. West Virginia, 2 goals in quick succession, going to give them a lead there. A nice bump on the front end by the other member of West Virginia. And now, a tie game halfway through. St. Clair starting to get concerned about how this defensive stance is working out for them.
Yeah, I agree. You know, they had the multi-goal advantage. Now not having it anymore. It's going to be tied up here with 4 goals in this game, 2 apiece. But we're halfway through, so still lots of game left to be played out. And St. Clair going to have to turn up back onto this offensive pressure they were bringing before. Kamal trying to bring this one in for a play. It's going to be alongside the corner. Passes it up, but Vokes a little out of position. It's just a miscommunication. That's where the chemistry really does come into play. Having Vokes, somebody that you don't see every day, on the lineup coming in tonight. But it is going to be now with a little bit more time being burned off the clock and still tied up on the board, but St. Clair have to just get this one out of their zone. They're constantly being pressured, and you just cannot allow this to be this consistent.
Shot going to come through here off the backboard. Rebound opportunity. Vokes going to be able to turn that one away for the moment, but Falls with an aerial chance here. He's going to try and drop it down the middle, but Kamal with a nice prediction will be able to get that one out. And see St. Clair, they have to look towards this offense again. It worked so well for you in the first minute of the game. It found you 2 goals, but now that you've turned back into the defensive stance, they found cracks in your armor, and 2 goals have come through for West Virginia. So Falls shot going to come through, not going to be on net though. Rebound opportunity is going to go up top. Falls going to go for it. We'll tap it over to Rots. Won't be towards net though, and St. Clair trying to get any ball control, but it's all West Virginia right now. St. Clair just can't really seem to keep possession of it for longer than a couple seconds. Nitrix shot going to come through, but Rots with the save, and again, St. Clair finally finding some offensive pressure here, but the answer coming through for West Virginia, and now with the 2-2 game, going to have to try and find something magical to break this tie.
Yeah, they need to do something, right? This next goal is going to have such an impact in this score line for whatever team that scores in. That's an opportunity for West Virginia. Knight will knock it through. St. Clair is not able to keep that one out of their net. Falls will be the player to just pass that one right up into Knight. A nice centering play. Nobody there to stop it. Nitrix just a little behind, and that is going to be West Virginia leading by 1 with only a minute left on the clock. All the pressure is on right now if you're St. Clair. If you do not tie this one up or or find this game win here, you were going down 2-0 in the series and forcing yourself to reverse sweep.
Just that 1 second of hesitation from Kamal meant he wasn't able to get towards that ball. And West Virginia going to find one. Save going to come through for Kamal on the goal line. We'll be able to get another 50-50 when it's going to go towards what WVU's net. Kamal going to be there to pick it up as well, but Knight with a nice clear, able to get it out from the corner. 40 seconds remaining. St. Clair from 2 goals up, now down a goal. Can they clutch this one out in the last 30 seconds, or will we be seeing a 2-0 lead for West Virginia in this series? Falls with pass towards the corner, but Nitric's going to be there to pick it up, trying to find his 3rd of this game. Going for that hat trick to try and save St. Clair. Roth's going to pass it towards the middle. Going to have a man open. Can he get it to him? No, he's not going to be able to get that touch. Falls going to be able to get that ball, though. Nitric's pass towards the middle. Not going to be on net. Falls going to be able to push this to the outside. 15 seconds left. Can St. Clair find this final 2nd goal?
Yeah, Kamal will be the one to dribble it through, but Rotz is going to be there for an easy save and an easy clear. Nitric's trying to keep the play alive, but with Knight making connection on that one, passing it up to his teammate, and now no time left on the clock. As soon as this one touches the ground, it will be done, unless St. Clair can do something about that, but they will not be able to, and it is going to be the side of West Virginia University now 2-0 lead in this series, forcing St. Clair to reverse sweep. We've seen it before just a couple weeks ago, but it is definitely not a winning formula.
Yeah, I think definitely St. Clair, the fact that they picked up a really early lead in that game, 2 goals, so beneficial for them. But you saw as soon as they scored that 2nd goal, right from the kickoff, they were playing that defensive stance. And I mean, it works to a degree, but the problem is once you make that 1-2 mistakes, instantly, you saw 30 seconds, it was a 2-2 game, and St. Clair staying back, playing that more reserved style, it just didn't work. And you had, like, Nitrix, for me, the fact that he was so explosive on offense in the first minute, and then he ended up playing so far back in the second half of that game, really was a detriment to St. Clair. And, you know, you have to try and find some offense here, because you're on the cusp of losing the series now in game number 3. You have to find an answer for West Virginia.
Yeah, when you go and take that more defensive stance, it really does make it difficult, because 1, 2, 3 saves, and look at that, all 3 of your players are out of position and out of boost because all 3 of those saves. And next thing you know, West Virginia has just a nice, easy rebound, wide open shot, and they find it, and that has been the killer, the Achilles heel of St. Clair tonight. And yeah, that's one thing I was also like, you're touching on Nitrix. He comes through, starts off with 2 goals. Why does he not stay on that offensive pressure? That is a really big thing. It was seeming to be very successful, and you gotta look at so far in your 2 games of what has been successful. Nitrix offense. Put him on the offense. It has to happen, because the only goals they have found have been coming from Nitrix making these big plays.
Yeah, and I definitely think big defensive mistakes have been a detriment for them. You saw a couple of times there, several members of St. Clair were making just big defensive mistakes, dropping the ball in front of their net, and that's just a basic thing about Rocket League that you can't do. That's the number one thing you learn when you play Rocket League. Definitely hear from your teammates, just whatever you do, don't drop the ball in front of your own net, and St. Clair just made that mistake, and it cost them dearly at game number 2. But game number 3, you got a fresh start, 0-0. You have a chance here. Put Nitrix on the offense more. Try and set him up with Kamal. See if they can reignite that chemistry that they had in fall semester, and see if they can find some goals, because they're going to need 3 games in a row now to claim this series back from West Virginia. It's a tall task, but I definitely think St. Clair can do it if they put their minds to it.
Yeah, you got to look at this one more as 3 best of 1s than a best of 3 that you have to win all of, right? So you definitely got to just divide it up, take this one game by game, and it all starts with 1 game. It all starts with 1 goal, and that is exactly what St. Clair is looking for here with Kamal, pushing all of these defenders out of the way, trying to open things up for Nitrix. Not going to work out too nicely, though, as Rotz is there to intercept the play, and it is going to be actually poked through. I believe that was from Nitrix, or sorry, Vokes coming in to make this play happen. Now, getting Knight out of position is going to run this one right across the net, but nobody was there for St. Clair to pick up and find that goal. They need more players on the offense.
Yeah, I definitely think they need to lend themselves a little bit more room on the offensive side of things. Ball going to go up, try and go for the touch there, but will be cleared away by Rotz. Rotz again going to tap that ball out towards the middle, going to try and find a teammate. It's going to go to Knight. Shot going to be on net, but there's going to be Nitrix there, but he's not able to get enough of it. And Knight will be able to score a goal here. Nitrix just a little bit too much hesitation again, and St. Clair making these defensive mistakes has just cost them so dearly in these games.
Yeah, West Virginia is going to be definitely making an impact to them things here. Now a minute and a half through, and with the 1-goal advantage, it's going to be St. Clair, though, putting it into the offensive zone. This is exactly what they need, but this is what we don't need. Them falling off immediately as it's a shot coming through from Rotz. Nitrix will be there to make the save happen, but you have to translate this one into an opportunity here now. Yes, there's still lots of time left on the clock, but you need momentum for yourself right now if you're St. Clair, because right now you just need to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, you definitely need to just find a goal here, break the ice, in this game number 3. I think that is going to be the key. St. Clair in game number 2 looked way better in the first half because they found that initial 2 goals that set them up for success throughout the beginning of that game. And, you know, right here, you see so many shots coming through for West Virginia. St. Clair just trying to clear it out of their own zone, just try and, you know, put it away from their net. Vokes a shot on net, but not going to be on target. Ball's able to clear this one out. And St. Clair, they just get a little bit of offensive pressure, but they aren't able to sustain it. And now you see a nice demo, actually. Going to turn that one around for St. Clair. We got 2 people going for this ball. Kamal with a lot of boost in the middle. Dribble not going to get over anyone's head, though. Vokes going to try and pass it to the side, but Falls going to be here. Can't go for the double touch. Going to try and pass towards the middle, but Nitrix beat it for the answer. And St. Clair down a goal here halfway through. Going to have to try and find something to stop this bleeding. Try and save this series.
Now we will see it's a barrage of shots coming through for WVU that St. Clair really just needs to stop. But yeah, I feel like demos in this game need to have a little bit more of an impact. Because demos, you get out of the game for, what, 2 seconds? And sometimes you arguably get more boost and better positioning when you come back into the game. So I'd really like to see boost maybe potentially, or not boost, demos potentially have more of an impact going forwards. But hey, what can I do about that? I'm just the caster over here. It is going to be Nitrix making a play happen, sending this one into the offensive zone. Kamal going to be here as well, looking to put this one in front of the net. But that's the constant problem right now. You put it in front of the net, but who's there to knock it through?
They're playing 2 back on defense. So this one player that's up for St. Clair, they're creating opportunities, whether it's Vokes, whether it's Kamal, whether it's Nitrix, creating opportunities, but when they pass towards the middle, there's no one there because St. Clair is playing 2 back, and it's going to become a problem for them. Nitrix, Kamal with a 2-on-1 opportunity here. Nitrix can get it at 4, going to get a nice dribble. Not going to be able to beat Falls, though. Falls going to be able to get a nice touch on that one. Will be able to push it back out. And again, St. Clair stifled on their offensive opportunity, aren't able to get it up turn it into a shot on target. And now we see WVU with the demo and try and get some of their own offensive pressure here. In St. Clair, you have a minute to try and get a goal back here. You only need 1 to try and save the series, or at least tie the game. Shot going to come through. Kamal, nice save. But right now, St. Clair just hasn't been able to get any sustained offense. They got to find an answer here in the last minute.
I'm very surprised we haven't seen as many double or triple commits coming through for St. Clair. This is game 3. You're down 2-0, and you're down in the game. You have to find a goal to keep your series alive. I'm very surprised they're not focusing on their offense a little bit more here right now. A nice shot coming through, but it will not get forced in, and now the triple commits are coming through for St. Clair. They know that they're in a little bit more of a desperation mode here to try to find this win. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, it literally all does come down to this. Kamal, 1-on-1 here now with Falls. Going to be sent up. Could be good for Vokes. Going to be just missing him on the play. Nitrix wrapping back. Will pick up the ball. It is going to be around their zone. Sent back for Kamal. Can Kamal keep this play alive? It looks to be the case, but Falls is going to be right behind and ready to try to burn off more of this clock. Vokes is going to be in here trying to change everything, but it's not looking too promising.
10 seconds left, 5 seconds left now. Kamal going to be able to pass it towards the middle. Vokes with a shot here, but not going to be on target. It will be cleared away for the moment. Kamal with a chance here. He's going to put it towards the net, but Ross is going to be ready for it. He's going to slam it right down on the ground. That is going to be the end of this series. Game number 3 going to go to West Virginia University, and they will sweep it 3-0. And just a better team on the day, but I feel like St. Clair left a lot out there on the field.
Yeah, they definitely left a lot out there on the field. I think I just want to see a little bit more of a focus on the offensive pressure. We were really emphasizing it all game long, so I don't think there's a huge need to continue to emphasize it. But yeah, the game pressure, the offensive pressure, definitely something to take an eye at and to take a little bit of a look at going forwards. But other than that, their defense looked pretty sound, considering, you know, the amount of shots that came off from WVU. They were able to save a good amount of those. So it is going to be St. Clair falling to a negative record now, 2-3. West Virginia, though, going to be going up to 4-1. They're definitely up there with the big dogs being New Haven and Northwood.
Yeah, I definitely think for them, they had a really, really good defensive game throughout that entire series. Just, I believe it was 3 goals total that St. Clair scored throughout all 3 games. So really well for them. Able to stop a lot of key opportunities that St. Clair had. They didn't, have too many of them, but when they did, there were some quality chances, and West Virginia able to answer to them to turn them away. And St. Clair just weren't able to get that ball in towards that net. A lot of shots just turned away, not even getting to the actual target. And really, really credit West Virginia for that. They were able to put up really good offensive pressure and not allow St. Clair to get any sustained chances in the offensive zone.
Yeah, it all works out here now, so super excited to see how things continue to go for Week 6 of NECC coming up next week here as well. Both teams are still going to be fighting for a spot in the playoff positioning, and maybe we see a rematch here between these two teams going forward. I definitely would like to, because I think that things can maybe go another way. Like, you predicted St. Clair, I predicted West Virginia, so hey, we were up in the air about it, but both of our predictions very, very wrong. None of us were expecting to win West Virginia to come out as hard as they did.
And I think, to be fair, though, it was, a 3-2 game in game number 2 and a 1-0 game in game number 3. So I think, a goal either way could have changed the series astronomically, especially if St. Clair was able to find one of those games. I think they could have turned the tide of the series. They could have picked up a lot more momentum, and I think it could have looked worlds different than it really did.
Yeah, definitely did. But GG's to both teams involved. Definitely some things to take away from this game. With that being said, we will be back here tomorrow with Valorant action. I believe that is starting at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. 7 p.m., sorry. Valorant tomorrow, 7 p.m. I can't remember exactly what team it is against. I had
McMaster.
McMaster, yes.
McMaster.
Sorry, McMaster University there. So another Ontario-wide matchup tomorrow, 7 p.m. Valorant. Very exciting. So make sure you guys are all tuning in for that one. But we do have a few things to talk about before we head out here on the Saints channel. First of which, going to be Crunchyroll. It's now available to stream on Nintendo Switch. It is a great anime and manga streaming service here for Crunchyroll. You guys got to get your 14-day premium trial for free at crunchyroll.com/Saints. Really cool that it is now streaming on Nintendo Switch, and you guys can just kick back, relax, and enjoy. But with that being said, we do have this nice merchandise that we here have on as well.
Yeah, nice St. Clair Saints merchandise. I know you got the jacket, I got the jacket, I got the mask. I got about 8,000 pieces of the merch, actually. You always come in with some different piece, and I know you love them all. You talk about them all the time. Sweater, crew neck, jersey, t-shirt, scrim t-shirt, whatever you're looking for, mask, flag. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Acquire.ca/Saints. Go check out our wide selection of merchandise we got there. Get yourself some gear, cheer on the boys playing here. Looking forward here. We also have our TikTok giveaway coming up on March 31st. So, if you don't know, Steam $50 card we're giving away on TikTok. All you have to do to enter this draw is follow us on both Twitter and on TikTok, Saints Gaming CA. Tag one friend in the replies and like and retweet the post. So definitely go check that one out. Winner will be drawn on March 31st. So yeah, if you want some free Steam money, enter the giveaway.
Yeah, and with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the St. Clair College Esports Academy here. And esports at St. Clair College hasn't even found its final form yet. Starting in September, we will be having an Esports Academy, 50 new scholarship positions available to students of St. Clair College to compete in esports. Whether it's the Academy team or one of our varsity titles, or a brand new title that isn't even varsity as of yet, we would love to have you come and compete with us. Use !join in the Twitch chat, or go to stclairsaints.ca/join to apply. So it's nice to see Saints Academy starting to become a little bit more developed, and excited to see that coming through in September.
It's going to be cool too. And just a reminder, like you said, it's a lot of teams that aren't necessarily varsity right now. So something like Apex or Halo or iRacing, there's so many different choices. So if you got something that you're passionate about, that you want to start an academy team for, definitely go stclairsaints.ca/join. But we also got to talk about our other sponsors as well: Tim Hortons, Subway, the SRC, St. Clair College Alumni Association, Zekelman School for Business. Thank you for allowing us to do what we do, have fun on these broadcasts, and be able to stream to all you wonderful viewers at home and have this wonderful experience that we do.
Yes, so that will be it here for tonight. Stay updated with all Saints Gaming CA news on our socials. It is going to be Saints Gaming CA across everything. My name, though, being Jackson the Pride Brown, joined alongside John Bill Bangs Wadima. This was some NECC Rocket League action with your St. Clair Saints, but we'll be back tomorrow with some Valorant action. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you all on the next one.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.